All right, so let's talk about 2 jobs I lost the most money on in the entire time I've been in business for myself. Both these jobs really just grind my gears. One I just completed, done with, like just finally just washed my hands of, completed it to my contract, got everything done. Customers obviously happy. And the other job I completed, I believe, early last year in 2021. And that both these jobs span, calendar year. So we're in my basement. We just started finishing the basement. We are doing a full bar, full bathroom, probably a soaker tub, a new studio / media room / bedroom. It's going to be kind of like a all-purpose room. And we're going to also be doing and it's basically a sports bar themed basement. So yeah, let's get into this. All right, so these 2 jobs, I broke it down into 4 things that I could, the reason why these jobs went wrong. And 4 main, I guess, concept. That's right, 3, 2, 1. All right, these 2 jobs I broke down into basically 4, I guess, categories of why I lost money on these jobs. And they, me going through and kind of going back in the history and doing a little bit of research for this video. There's definitely, these jobs definitely have a lot in common, and it's kind of crazy how these things go. And now I'm, learn from mistakes. This way you're watching this video so you can learn from my mistakes. And then, I think all new business owners at some point have, we make mistakes. I'm not a new business owner, but I still make mistakes. It is what it is. So, the main one is that I have to look at it, and it's my fault that I lost money on the job, or any job. It's my fault, basically. And if you're looking at it, it's your fault if you lost money on the job, straight up. You're not using correct pricing. I did not use correct pricing. Granted, one job or both jobs, I just, I was not in over my head, but I was, it's live and learn. Like now I can do both jobs. If I did the jobs over again, man, I would make a killing because I know what to charge. I know what to expect. I can get things done faster, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where experience is the best teacher, and it's what it boils down to. It's my fault that I lost money because I didn't price it correctly. I didn't, there's spots of it that I just didn't either know how to do because I had no experience. So I hired somebody and they either messed up and cost me more money, and I maybe wasn't as harsh as I needed to be with my subcontractors on certain jobs. So, I mean, what are you going to do? That's the main thing is, I take ownership. Hey, I messed up. I didn't charge nearly as much as I needed to, and that's why I lost money. Now, that being said, I still see the jobs to completion because, for one, it's my reputation as a contractor, as a business owner. I don't want any bad reviews out there, or I don't want to live down to the contractor, fly by night, weekend warrior kind of thing. I'm there. I always answer my phone and text messages, and I have the difficult conversations right up front. Hey, this is why it costs more money. I've had customers just recently like, hey, they're like, well, this job's kind of spiraling a little bit, but I explained to them that this is, maybe it's my lack of communication, but this is why the job is, the costs are increasing. You decided to do a certain thing, therefore it has to be paid for, and I don't finance anybody's projects for them. So number 1 would be I accept responsibility. It's my fault. I didn't charge enough at all for these jobs. Both jobs, I would say, I'll throw some pictures up here too so you guys can see as a reference. Just the main thing I would say, because I had multiple jobs going at one time, I was bouncing between jobs and I wasn't, doing the management correctly. And if I'm not spending all day on a job, I'm not getting, the production's just not there when you're not on site the entire day doing one specific task or one job site. So my fault. That was the main, that's the main one. Hey, didn't charge enough. That's the basic thing. Like a job that needs to be, should be like 80 to 90,000. I was charging half of that. So did the job get done? Yes, at my expense. So number 2, the reason why the jobs are delayed. So that's another reason why I lost money. They are just delayed. Now, some of the delays are my fault. Some of them, it's manufacturing. The materials aren't on site, wrong materials, delays. Both these jobs went through the COVID era. So I waited 5.5 months for one window. Customer's boyfriend and another customer had COVID. So that was, delays. Back in that time was like, I say back in that time, but it was only a couple of years ago. Hey, somebody I knew sneezed once, so therefore we're going to quarantine for, some stuff like that. So, it's just, delays. And obviously if you have delays, you got to either find more work or you can just go to the job site and do what you can. And then that's just it's not efficient. It's just absolutely not efficient. I mean, not having the materials really messed me up on like the first job, the one I did a while ago. And also one of the jobs was insurance. So the insurance, that's the reason why I don't do insurance work anymore. It was bad. Like I would talk to the insurance guy and I made it clear that I wasn't working for the insurance agency. I was working you're always working for the homeowner. So, in my contract, it's like, hey, no payment, no work kind of thing. So they were fine with waiting. Therefore, I was just like, all right. I mean, if the insurance guy doesn't want to pay or he needs something else or, we have to wait for something. There was like a time where it was like a month and a half between we could actually get a hold of their actual adjuster. So, delays. So it is what it is. It wasn't on me, but the exact same reason those delays caused me to, I have to go back to the job site. I got to follow up with somebody. I had to send that email out. It's more work, non-billable hours, if you want to call that, which learn now, I don't do that kind of stuff anymore. So yeah, we'll leave that at that. So number 3, bad subcontractors. Again, my fault. And if you're hiring a bad subcontractor, it's your fault. You got to, now I don't have anymore. I have a pretty legit, I have pretty much all my eggs in one basket kind of thing. So I have everything I need to right now. But back then, no, I had to pay to redo work. I had to wait for a subcontractor because he failed an inspection. It wasn't a bad, but he just failed inspections because they, something happened and, it oversight, whatever it is, they fixed it, but it caused delays. And then also I had to pay to redo work because somebody either ghosted me, which happened, bad craftsmanship. And I mean, I could see it. It's not like a picky customer, even though one of these customers was picky or is picky still, it still is bad craftsmanship. So I don't want to put my name on that kind of stuff. So that's basically it. So, and then also one of them was a customer didn't feel comfortable with that subcontractor on the site. So now in my contract, I do, the customer cannot dictate who I can and can't use. They can have a suggestion, and it's complete. It's my job. Look at me. It's my job site. It's my house for the time being with my contract. So I can dictate who I have on the job site, but you still want to make customers happy, and you still want to make sure you have a non-hostile work environment. So it is what it is, right? So now the last one being bad job management from my side, and that goes into now I have all materials on site before we start working. And if it's not all, it's 90% because sometimes the materials, you just can't do that. I mean, sometimes it's just not working. It's not worth it. So all materials on the job site, manage expectations for the homeowner and the customer itself. So I kind of overpromised. When I first started out, I overpromised and I kind of underdelivered, or at least try to meet expectations. But now I underpromise and try to overdeliver. So if I'm thinking like right now, I just had a job that we had a material delay for customer requested material. It was like a week or so. I told the customer it's a minimum of a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe who knows. So, and they're fine with that. So now I underpromise and overdeliver, but back then it was not like that at all. So bad job management on my end, not having materials or the correct materials. And sometimes it goes on the homeowner too, if they change their mind. And then also job management as far as change orders, not saying yes to every change order. These 2 jobs, I said yes to pretty much every change order, which was a mistake. It delayed stuff. It caused me more headache than it was worth. And again, I wasn't charging what I should be charging for those change orders now. Now those change orders are probably double the price. So those 4 main things, I mean, both jobs have that exact same thing in common. Bad job management, I was, you know, juggling multiple jobs at one time, and I mean, you know, bad pricing is the main, you know, that's how it basically goes down to. I wasn't charging enough. So learn from my mistakes. Those are the main ones I learned on this. And then also, you know, keeping the money separate. I mean, you got to keep, you know, you got to make sure you keep the finances up to date and everything, which I did. But after jobs that last a long, long time, it is time consuming to do that, and you can get lost in it pretty quickly. So yeah. So that's basically it. I think both jobs, I think I've, you know, if I was doing hourly, I lost tens of thousands of dollars on these jobs. If I was billing hourly, and as far as what I was doing, I lost tens of thousands of dollars on these jobs. But both jobs are done, over with. Behind me, I have a, to my left, to your right as you're watching me, I have my dry erase board with all my work on it, and I just reveled in the fact I can just erase their job right off my little dry erase board and be done with it. So it was nice. So like and subscribe, you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.